Alrighty, guys. So how are we? Welcome in here to Slaughterhouse Sports. We're going to do 2 more videos tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to have more content on this page. I'm actually going to go over every hire of Liam Coen's staff, but we're going to start off with the big 3, which are the coordinators. We're going to do this with every single new NFL team. And in fact, what we could do is even go through the 2026 coaching roster. We could even do this with, each and every single team that, really comes out there anyway. And so we're going to do this. But first off, this person that I'm going to review, this is maybe one of my favorite and most interesting candidates in all of the National Football League. It is Grant Udinski, and he is now working for the Jacksonville Jaguars for the year 2025 in the 2026. He's working with Liam Coen's staff. He comes from Minnesota with Kevin Oconnell. So I'm going to, again, pull up just the bio on Grant Udinski. Okay, I know a lot off of top of head with Grant Udinski because he interviewed for the Seattle job, and I'm like, whoa, what is this? What is this 28-year-old kid? What is he? And I say that as I'm only 30 years old. Luckily, I'm still, young too, like Grant, prospectively young. I know that there's some, I kind of do wish maybe I was 25 or 23 years old and could still hoop as well. But Grant Udinski. So Grant Udinski, the most interesting thing about Grant is that he got his job from Matt Rhule, and he got his job from Matt Rhule by sleeping in a car in a Walmart parking lot. All right. You have to have major guts to sleep in a car overnight in a Walmart parking lot, and you have to have great drive and desire to get into the coaching business and to get a job like that. So I think that Grant must have met Matt Rhule somehow through his Temple ties. He went to Davidson College, which was, made famous from Steph Curry, but it's also a very good, probably private college right outside of Charlotte. He played defensive tackle there. He also played defensive tackle for Towson College, which is in Maryland. All right, so that's where he played his colegio football. That's where he played college ball. Then, again, he saw Matt Rhule at a coaching clinic. He stayed outside a Walmart parking lot, and he was very persistent, and made an impression on Matt Rhule, not only through his overnight trials, which can go up there with the David Ray story or with the Dan Lanning driving from Kansas City to Pittsburgh stories. You hear a lot of these coaches start off there with really humble roots. It's really hard. The toughest job often in coaching is to get the first job, to get the first opportunity is the toughest job. So, Grant Udinski starts off, I believe, at Baylor. All right. 6'3". That's what he is in height. He's from Doylestown, Pennsylvania, the same town as Miles Teller. He's from probably about 35 minutes from where we do our local Philadelphia radio show. So he's a local Philly guy. That's Grant Udinski. That's something to keep in mind, okay? A lot of good coaches like Kevin Stefanski's from Philadelphia. Joe Judge is from Philadelphia. There's a lot of, very good coaches that are out there and players that are from Philadelphia. Went to Central Bucks West, where he played football there. Then he was at Davidson. Then I believe he went to Towson. So in 2019, grad assistant at Baylor. Did so well at Baylor that Matt Rhule said, you're coming with me to the Carolina Panthers. Came to the Carolina Panthers. But then what ended up happening, I think McCown or somebody from Minnesota saw Grant Udinski, I think it was even Wes Phillips, and said, hey, you guys got to hire Grant Udinski because Grant Udinski has a photographic memory. He remembers every play, every formation. This goes back 5-10 years. Grant Udinski is known as a football computer. Grant Udinski, too, was known to work with J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings quarterbacks like Sam Darnold, and was known to stay up till the wee hours of the night just wanting input and wanting to talk football. This guy is all football. He loves and craves the game of football. Without the game of football, he wouldn't be in as good a shape as he is right now, meaning like he'd still probably have an okay job, but he wouldn't be full, okay? His mindset, his passion, his heart and desire is based around the game of football, and for that I commend him. That's absolutely awesome. Doesn't mean that, right, your whole life has to revolve around it, all right? But it is awesome that somebody cares that deeply about it. Like, I actually love that, okay? I love that. And Grant Udinski is a whiz kid. He's 28 years old, just 28 years old, and spent the last 2 years with the Minnesota Vikings. He was pivotal in the success of Sam Darnold. And in fact, Josh McCown is not an offensive coordinator. Wes Phillips, the longtime son of Wade Phillips, you look at Bum Phillips as well, who was out there as well. Bum Phillips, of course, a legendary coach. He's the grandson of Bum Phillips. He is not getting offensive coordinator looks. It's Grant Udinski because Clint Kubiak and the rest of the NFL, they're smart. They know about Minnesota. They spend money and resources looking into this. And Kevin and Liam Coen is also proactive and is like, I'm getting the wonder kid, and I'm getting him right now to be an offensive coordinator. So he worked quarterback. He worked with Kevin Oconnell. In this role with Liam Coen, Cohen's going to call plays, but again, they should have a great rapport because, again, Kevin Oconnell and Liam Coen spent time together in Los Angeles. Even though it might have been a year stint, they still spent time together in Los Angeles. So I think that this transition should be seamless for Grant Udinski. I think it's great. He just did his first interview in front of the press. This is a high upside hire for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's also worth noting that I believe Shane Waldron, a veteran offensive coordinator, if the Jags just hired Shane Waldron, that would have been a decent hire. But Shane, back half of Chicago, even in Seattle, like he was pretty good in Seattle. Was the hot name in Seattle, got the best out of Geno Smith. Then he went with Caleb Williams, a bad offensive line, a tumultuous coaching staff. Like Shane Waldron is still from the McVay tree. Shane worked in LA too. Shane has a lot of talent, and Shane has been a longtime offensive coordinator and has spent a lot of time in the NFL. He is also on the staff. So we're going to get to Shane Waldron in another video, but for Grant Udinski's sake, this is going to help out Grant. I am so excited to see where this kid goes in his life with coaching. He could be the next superstar coach. They said he has a photographic memory that can only be tested by Sean McVay, that he is a genius. Another thing about Grant Udinski is that he'll literally go every summer 14 days off the grid entirely. He will go to the mountains of Switzerland. He'll go to Iceland. He'll see the Northern Lights. He'll go and go backpacking, shut down all technology, all luxurious items, and he'll be in wilderness around nature, around dangerous, creatures, insects, all sorts of just tumultuous items and tumultuous creatures live in kind of those habitat areas. So you don't see pretty much any football coach in the National Football League going out there and doing that. And even Kevin Oconnell had said that he was worried about the whereabouts of Grant Udinski, and they'd even prank Grant Udinski by saying, hey, we're talking all this football and you're missing out on all this football. Because Grant Udinski's a football junkie. I love the tenacity of Grant to go out there and to sleep over at a Walmart parking lot or just even his travels. I respect it so much. I mean, it takes guts to go out there like in wilderness and do your own thing, and that's what Grant does. It seems like he marches to the beat of his own drum. He's not hurting anybody. I love these sort of characters. I like these characters in football. Your cookie cutter coaches, there's plenty of them. Grant Udinski seems like he's not one of them. So I give Liam Coen credit, man. Just looking at what Liam is doing, I guess that this will be a theme throughout, but Liam is being outside the box. That's what I would view this hire. Outside the box, the highest upside possible. A guy who's really going to care about Trevor Lawrence, that's going to try to get the most out of the quarterback position. And Trevor has a big arm. Trevor can read the field. He has footwork. He has all the tangible talent that you need. It's just in terms of the intangibles. It's in terms of working a little bit harder. It's in terms of being a more vocal leader, which might be harder for Trevor Lawrence to do. It's about situational excellence. It's about more detail. It's actually about being a stricter teammate. It's about demanding more. Trevor needs to be a leader at this point in his career. He needs to take hold of this franchise and really be that guy. He needs to be the guy that when he walks in the building, everybody kind of, sits back and is quiet because, oh boy, Trevor Lawrence is here and he means business. So this is a great restart for Trevor. And again, I'm pumped for Grant Udinski and to see where this goes.